What's up YouTube, and thank you for joining me for another video. And if you're new, welcome. Today we are going to see the impact that weapons have in three different countries: USA, Italy, where I live, and Iceland. Before we go deep in this video, I suggest you to follow, like, subscribe, and also make sure to follow my Twitch so you can stay updated, because I go live every single afternoon if the PS network allows me that. But with no further ado, let's go deep into this video. Chapter 1. How are weapons distributed? For understanding how people can get their weapons, we have to understand how it works in each every country. For example, in the United States, as my research, you have to not have any problems with the law, not have any problems like mental illnesses, and therefore you're good to a check on your background. So let's say you have no law-breaking things, and they can give you your weapon, and that's it. You can just go home with your brand new Glock. In Italy works very different. So in Italy you have to have a permit. This permit works in three different ways. First one is the one that you can carry on your weapon, which is for like security guards or people that works in jewelry and stuff. And this one is the most rare one, because it's not so usual that people in Italy asks for a weapon. The second type of permit is the hunting permit. Like this one explains on their own. You can go hunting on a weekend maybe, and you can do things. But there are also seasons for that. There's no like every day of the month, of the year and everything, but you understood the point. And the last one is the sport permit. This one also explains by themselves. For getting a weapon in Italy, you have to not have any problems with the law, as we already told, having a test by psychiatrists, so medical certifications, and also when you get the weapon you have to make a complaint to the police that you have a weapon, so the weapon is registered, and also you with that. For keeping the weapon, usually in Italy works that you have to have them in the house, and the weapon is on a box under key, and the magazine is in another box with another key, and also the secure has to be put on. So it's pretty clever, we can say, but we'll get there in a minute. In Iceland, things are very similar to Italy too. Like, you have to have made a mandatory course, theoretical course, practical course, then you have a check on the police force from you, actually, and then you can have the weapon. But why are so differences, and what's the social gimmicks that are under these things? This one is a graphic that I made by hand, so I'm sorry for the not so good writing, but I'm not that good. I've searched the number of population that the three nations that we took on exam have, and Italy is on 60 million people, USA is on 349 million people, and Iceland in 319k. So the difference is pretty huge. We saw that Italy has 14.4 weapons per 100 people, USA has 120.5, Iceland has 24 or 31, the research are within a range, weapons for 100 people. So we can see that Italy is the least one that has weapons. So in our environment we should say that Italy could be the least safe place, because he has less weapons than all. USA is the one that have most weapons, so if we keep saying that weapons make us safe, we should say that USA has less robberies. In Iceland, instead, it is in between Italy and USA, so we should say that it's pretty safe, but not as much. But if we go check the number of robberies that we had last year, Italy had 28,600 robberies. That equals 48.5 robberies for 100k people. Instead, USA had 205k and 952 robberies. That equals the 60.6 robberies for 100 people. In Iceland, just 85 robs, so 22 for 100k people. Why there are so much weapon in the USA? Why very less weapons in Italy, and why Iceland has the tiny amount of robberies? For the first question, we know that in the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution is written that everyone has the right to have a weapon. As I'm reading, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So we understood where the point is. At the same time, we also notice that by a recent survey, not every family has a weapon, even if they have the right to. Actually, it's 1/3 of the population of America, 1/3 of the families of America to have all the weapons that we've seen before. At the same time, we know that on this 1/3, there are a small percentage of people that actually collects all these weapons. So numbers don't exactly tell us the truth. As we already know, in Iceland, they don't go through the process to purchasing an arm for defending themselves from the others. Actually, they go hunting, most likely, because they have a lot of free land where they can do actually this stuff. In Italy, the purchasing of a weapon is, as we already seen, very different wise and very different types of kind of things. At the same time, for having this kind of permit, you have to wait a long time for the bureaucracy and everything that goes behind. While we were watching all the numbers of robberies and everything, I didn't mention one thing in Italy that is very controversy: the legitimate defense law. For understanding why is this a controversy, we have to take a step back. We have to go before 2019, where the law of the legitimate defense was completely different. In Italy, we have this thing is called proportion. So if the thief comes into your house and there's a real threat, a real danger, you can defend yourself. But before 2019, it works that there has to be a proportion. So if the thief is punching you, you have to punch him back. You cannot defend yourself by shooting directly to them, even if they are in your property and in your house. In 2019, this thing changed because the right-wing government says this cannot be no longer the self-defense law, and it changed that the proportion is always viable. If the thief comes into your house, you can shoot them actually, but never, even before 2019, and even now, you cannot shoot them if they are already escaping. So let's imagine a thief comes into your house, robs you. He robs you and maybe comes with something important, okay, but he's already escaped from your house, he's already escaped from your property, even if it's a store. You cannot chase them with the intenting of murder him, and you cannot shoot him in the back, because that's accusation of murder. Why we're talking about this right now? We're talking about this right now because the right wing part of the Italian government is trying to change even the last part, the part where thief escapes, alright? He's trying to change it because it happened a little time ago, a case that is the Mario Rogero case. What is that and who is him? Who is Mario Rogero and why we're talking about that? Well, the Mario Rogero case right now is very popular in Italy, and this is why I decided to make this video. He is or used to be entrepreneur with a jewelry store. What actually happened? Well, he used to have the permit of carrying a weapon, and after the boyfriend of his daughter beat his daughter and left her in the street, he got angry, alright, and went to the house of this boy and their parents and decided to beat the boy, and at the same time pointing the gun in the face of the parents of this boy. 10 years later, that is actually this year, he came across a very huge danger. He had 3 robberies during the last years, but the last one was complete chaos because the thief entered and tied up the wife of Mario Rogero, and at the same time they trapped his daughter. What he decided to do is to shoot one in this property, okay, in his store. He decided to shoot one of the thieves. And here in Italy we should say, okay, it's legal, it's completely legal, we already saw that, and it's okay, it's fine, it's completely fine, Rogero, you can go. What he decided to do is to run out after shooting another 3 times to this person. He decided to run out, chase the other guy, shoot the other guy with the intention of murder the other guy, and then went back and solved everything with the wife and with his daughter. After that he called the cops, but the cops actually started investigating about this incident, and as the law is, they found Rogero guilty. So Rogero is right now in jail for I think 16 years as my last research, if I'm right, maybe I could be wrong, but what I want to say is I don't know what can pass in the mind of a person when he's getting robbed. But in this particular case, Mario Rogero couldn't actually have the firearm, couldn't have this pistol. So how did he got the pistol? And as we saw, having more weapons doesn't mean you're more sure, doesn't mean you can protect yourself, but at the same time it doesn't mean you have more criminality. Why I'm saying this? What I'm saying is we are not focusing on the other things. We saw USA as the right to defend themselves with their weapons, but it's not going better than Italy. At the same time, Iceland is the same as Italy mostly, but at the same time is going so well instead of Italy and instead of the USA. But why is that? For me, because this one is a personal opinion, is all about the other social things like poverty, a welfare from the state that we can rely on, because I can see in my country, Italy, I can see that no one is trusting this government, even the one before, and even the one that is coming is not trustworthy, because things doesn't change. There is not a revolution. All here is going quietly good, quietly bad. It's not anything like wow. It's not going well. It's not going to change anything. That's the problem. The fact that there is poverty, poor people will be poor, and that's it. They have difficulty to emerge. The same thing is in America. I see a lot of poor people that is actually trying at the beginning, cannot do that, and they go into the spiral of drugs, anything like that. The same problem is in Italy. Well, in Iceland it's different because they have a welfare of the state they can trust, they can rely on. They have street laws, and the law is getting respected. And at the same time, we can actually see why weapons are not the answer. Weapons are not the answer because even the criminal could get weapons easier, like in the United States, and even a criminal could get a weapon here in Italy. Like a person that, okay, is angry and anything, choose to go during the night in the house, breaking into the house of the boyfriend that beat up your daughter, pointing a weapon in the face, is not normal, alright? This thing is not normal. We should not glaze the defending by our own, making respecting the law by our own. We should have the police corps that actually works in our favor. Instead is full of bureaucracy, instead is slow, and at the same time not always, even if they should be guilty by the written law, not always the law can be respected. And this is why we cannot trust our states. Thank you guys for watching the video till the end. I hope you liked it, and if you do, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also maybe follow me on Twitch so we can chat in real time. Don't forget to comment something if you have a different opinion or if you have a different point of view. Don't worry, I love to see those kind of things, and I'm open to anything on this topic, and miss you out.